Alright, today we're looking at day 1 of chapter 6, topic 6. I don't know why it says Thursday on there. This is Friday. And we're going to be looking at how to work with expressions that have rational exponents. Okay, so exponents that are fractions. And the way that you convert from a rational exponent into a radical form is, in radical form, the index would be the denominator of the exponent in rational form, or in exponent form. Okay, so the nth root of b is equivalent to b to the 1 over n power. So the square root of b would be b to the 1/2 power. The cubed root of b is equivalent to b to the 1/3 power, and etc. So, for example, number 1, a to the 1/5 power, this is the same thing as the 5th root of a. This would be radical form for this. But what about something like number 2, d to the 7 over 2 power? Well, we know that the index is 2. So this is the square root of d. But what about the 7? Well, if we get rid of the 2, it becomes the index. Well, 7 is just the exponent now. So this is the square root of d to the 7th power, which we can then simplify to, because 2 goes into 7 3 times, d cubed square root of d. All right, because 2 goes into 7 3 times with 1 left over, so 1 still under the radical. So this would be the radical form of number 2. But it does not look like at this point we need to simplify it that far. Checking the notes, it doesn't look like we need to simplify it that far. But I do want you to know that it can be simplified that far. But for now, we will leave it like this. Because all that we want to know how to do is rewrite it in radical form. So similarly, x to the 5/4 power, the index is the denominator, so this is the 4th root of x, and then the exponent is still 5, because that would be gone, so it'd be x to the 5th power. And of course, this could simplify to x square root, or x 4th root of x. All right, now this one a little bit tricky. So the index is 5. So 5 root, and then if the 5 is gone, we have m to the negative 3rd power. All right, but remember, we're not supposed to have negative exponents. So let's see how we are supposed to fix this one. If you think back, the way that you fix negative exponents is by putting them in the denominator. So this would be 1 over 5th root of m cubed. And you could have done that from the very beginning. You could have put it in the denominator. But it doesn't matter when you do it. It just needs to be done. So this simplifies to 1 over the 5th root of m cubed. And what about if we go the other way? We want to rewrite it in rational exponent form. Well, it's the same thing. We just need to make sure that the index becomes the denominator of the exponent. So this would be z to the 1/3 power. And this would be, let me see how they want this one written. Oh wait, I need to look at number They don't show number 4, do they? Okay, no problem. Let's do it the way I want to do it. Well, let's look at number 2 first. So number 2, that would be c to the 5/8 power. Okay, because 5 is the exponent, 8 is the index, so the denominator. And this would be, remember, this is a square root because it's not written there. So this would be m to the 9, to the 9/2 power, or the 9/2 power. Okay, so now this one, I guess I'll write it for each one of these. So each one of these, the 4, the a squared, the c, they'll all have an exponent with a denominator of 3. So this would be 4 to the 1/3. This would be a to the squared over 3. And this would be c to the 1/3. Kind of like this. Another way to write it would be to just, we'll just leave it like this. Alright, now we actually want to evaluate these, okay, which means we want to know what they simplify to. So we are going to be simplifying these ones. So 81 to the 1/4 power, if we rewrite this as a radical, this is the 4th root of 81. So we're looking for what multiplies together 4 times to make 81, and we know that that's 3, because 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 is 81. Okay, so the 4th root power of 3 is, or 81 is 3. So 81 to the 1/4 power is 3. What about 216 to the 2/3 power? Okay, well if we rewrite this as a radical, it's the 3rd root of 216 squared. Well, let's see what 216 squared is. And it's a little bit too big to work with. So what I'm going to say is let's do this a different way. Okay, so 216 squared. And we're looking for something that multiplies together 3 times. So 216 can be broken down into, let's see, 12 times 18. Does that help us at all? No, I don't think so. Well, let's just see what we can do. So the cubed root of 216, plus we do have calculators here, so that might help us here, is 46,656. Okay, so let's see if we can find the cubed root of that. And you know what? As I was looking through this, I forgot that there is another way that you can write these to make it a little bit easier. Okay, because as I've written this one, I've written it as 216 squared with the index like this. There is another way that you can think about this, okay? You can think about this as the cubed root of 216 squared. Okay, the exponent can also be on the outside, okay, because if you're simplifying this. And this is actually easier to work with because even though I had before like 46,000 and something like that, the cubed root of 216 is actually easy because it's just 6 times 6 times 6. So the cubed root of 216 is 6, and 6 squared is 36. So this simplifies to 36. Okay, so it becomes easier to write it like this than like this. Both of them are valid though. Okay, 343 to the negative 1 over 3. Alright, well remember, a negative exponent means that it should be in the denominator, because this is 343 to the 1/3 power. So this is 1 over the cubed root of 343. And the cubed root of 343 is 7. And you may want to be using a scientific calculator to evaluate these at this point if you don't have them memorized, but you can just kind of guess. You can just multiply numbers together until you get 343, but this would be 1 over 7. Okay, 125 to the 4/3, so this is the cubed root of 125 to the 4th power. But remember, you can put that exponent on the outside to make it easier, because I don't know what the cubed root of 125 to the 4th power is, but I do know what the cubed root of 125 is, and I can raise that to the 4th power. So the cubed root of 125 is 5. And 5 to the 4th power, 5 times 5 times 5 times 5 is 625. So 125 to the 4/3 power is 625. Oh, that's it for day 1. Okay, so workbook pages 87, 1 through 6, 9 through 13, 88, 1 through 3, 5, and 6.